Yes, welcome back. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching us on how to insert an image on a website using Trebedit. So without any further ado, let's get started. We are going to be clicking on the mobile text editor. Now you click on it. Okay, have to click on that index.html. So over here, you've seen that our previous code. All right, so in today's tutorial, I will just leave it that way. So we continue. I'm going to be leaving it that way. So the next thing we're going to do, okay, we're going to start by initiating a comment. I want us to get familiar with comments. Comment is actually good whenever you are coding. Whenever you are coding, make use of comment. So inserting images. So just a kind of brief intro or brief description about what we are about to code next, so that if actually the code is being handed over to someone to vet or go through, the person can be able to know where to start from. So we are going to be initiating or inserting an image. So but before we start, this is actually how to insert an image tag. This is image. So this is an image tag. You see it. So you can see that it doesn't have a closing tag. The reason being that is an empty element. Like I told us that empty elements are those elements that does not have a closing tag. So image is one of them. So before we forge ahead, we are going to be creating a folder where we'll be storing. We're actually going to be creating a folder where we're going to be storing the images that we're going to use. All right, I'm going to. Okay, first of all, let's import an image. So how do we go about it? So you just have to click here, click back here, just go back here. Okay, I'll click back there. Then I will click on this plus icon again. I'm going backwards. Okay, take notes. All right, so I'm going to import a file. Let me just import a file. I'm showing us two methods on inserting images. So I'm going to not this. I'm going to be clicking import files. So I will click on it. Now when you get to your gallery or where you save the particular file you want to use, all right, I'm going to be making this typing computer png. Understand? So I'm going to be making use of it. Now you can actually see that I've imported a file, an image file. So now I will go back to my index.html to start to import it. You get it? So now open up this image file. When you open up this image file, now you're going to give it an attribute. You get it? Okay, the attribute is this is a source attribute. You get it now. So you give it a source attribute, then you type exactly what is the exact name. Better still copy it. If you can't be able to note the exact name here, I just have to rename it. As if you want to rename it, then you copy the exact name so you don't make a mistake. Go back to your index.html. Okay, in between these two quotation sign, you are going to import it, paste it, then you close it. You get it now. You close it. You close your tag. All right. So let's check here to see what we did is correct. So we're going to be clicking there. So you can see we've actually imported an image file. Now let's view it. This is where I click to view it to enlarge the view. This is where I clicked. So I will click here to make it a desktop size. Then I'll click back there to make it a phone screen size. So let's go back to our code editor. Now you can actually see this is one way of importing image on our web page. Okay, this is another way of doing this. You get it? And this is the more preferred way of doing it. I will always want all my files to be in a organized manner. You understand? So for me to do this, instead of just importing an image, I will have to create a particular folder for it. I will know that this is actually where I stocked all my image files, instead of just littering the whole place. I'll just kind of create a folder. I'll just create a folder for it. So now what we are going to do is that we are going to be clicking on this plus sign icon. Alright, so we're going to be clicking back there, then we're going to click on create new folder. So we want to organize our image files so that it don't look messy. Okay, alright, so name the folder images, then okay it. Now you can see that we've actually created our folder over here. Alright, so we are going to open it. Okay, you can see that the image folder is actually empty, so we're going to be clicking on this plus icon to import our images. Alright, so how do you import your images? You click on import files. So when I click on import file, I will search through and okay, click on this html.png. Alright, you can see on the folder is containing a png file, you understand, a jpeg file. So now let's go back to our code editor. Now this is the second way of importing this file. Watch me. Alright, so you're going to type img, then give it an attribute of source, then open up a quotation mark. We're going to be typing this folder where the image is contained, the image file, where the image is contained, images. Now you are going to give it a slash sign. You're going to give it this sign, images slash the name. Now what is the actual name? Let's go back and open the image file. Okay, it's HTML file. You can as well copy it exactly the way it is so that you don't make any mistake, as if you want to rename it, but not like you're renaming it, you just want to copy the name exactly. Alright, let's go back to our index.html. Now we are going to be pasting the name, the exact name, in between this slash sign. Then come over here and close it. Alright, so let's open it and see. Let's click on this okay, on this sign button. Alright, so you can see this is actually the first one we created without a folder. This is actually the one we created without a folder. Then this is actually the second one we created using a folder. So now what is the key difference? There is actually no difference. The difference is that it helps you to organize your images, you understand, instead of littering the whole place with a lot of images, because whenever you are, let me say you are designing a website, you will be needing a lot of images. So this is one way of making your work organized. You get it? Now I want to still give us these attributes. Okay, I want to make a comment on this. Now let's take for instance, now you are importing an image, endeavor to reduce the size. The size of your image matters a lot, because when your image has a lot of file, like it's very large, like you didn't reduce the storage capacity of that image, it will take time in loading. That is why when you see some websites, it takes time in loading some images. Even some may not even load it instantly. It will take a lot of time to load that image. It's as a result of not reducing or working on that image, like reducing the size of that image. How do I mean? Reducing the megabyte. If it's a megabyte, you reduce it to kilobytes. If it's in kilobyte, at least you should reduce it to the lowest. You understand? But don't reduce it in such a way it will drastically affect the quality. You get it? So you just have to make it normal. You don't just have to reduce it entirely so it won't affect the quality. Just make it normal. The reason you are making it normal is for it to load very well. Like it won't take time in loading. So that is the more reason. Now another thing, now we can still add an alt attribute. This is alt attribute. Now what does this alt attribute mean? This alt attribute now tells a little story, or to give a little description about this image you imported. Let's take for instance, now there is an error that happened or that affected the image not to load well. Now this short description now will be able to tell the user what the image is all about. Okay, let's give it a description on this alt attribute. So we are going to say a HTML image. Now we close it. All right, so what this HTML image now is a kind of giving this image a little description. You may not actually see it. Now how do you get to see it? Let's assume now, let's take for instance on this let's take for instance an error occurred. There is a line of this code that you didn't get correctly, or the image you imported, you didn't get the actual name correctly. Now I've been able to, the image file was html.jpg, you understand? So now I have removed the J there. Now let's see if it will load. Get it? So we are going to click back on this, so we are going to click back on this. All right, so can you see the image is no longer there? But what is this? What is actually displaying is this. I don't know if I've gone to any website and you are loading up the image and the image is refusing to load, and what you will just see a little description about that image. This is what actually happens. See, I gave it a little description, so you get to know what the image stands for. You get it? Now it says HTML image. Now you can be able to, even without seeing the image, you can be able to know what the image is all about. The image that is not showing up is all about. You get it? So this alt attribute helps you to do that. So we can still add a more description, or we can still give it a paragraph tag. Let's just give it a paragraph tag. Okay, p tag, like I told us, is one of the. Okay, let's just give it a description of okay, these are my image galleries. Okay, let's take for instance, these are my image galleries. All right, so let's check it and see. Let's check it and see. All right, let's check it and see. Okay, let's correct this. Actually, let's correct this. Let's put back the letter J that was supposed to be here. Let's put back the letter JP. Yeah. So now when we load it, now you see it will just load perfectly. Now you can see the little description. These are my image galleries. You can see. Okay, so you can actually add as many image as you wish to. You understand? Okay, you can still use the same method. Now let's add another image. All right, so I'm going to be importing more images on this image folder. Let's click to import. Click here on this plus icon to import more images. Now I'm going to click on import files. Now when you click on this import files, all right, you get access to wherever you store the images that you are going to be using. Now let's click on this JavaScript. Okay, we've gotten like 2 more images. Now let's go back again. You can add as many as you wish. All right, so just want to get whatever thing you can add, whatever thing you can lay hold on. It's just a practical, or it's a practical class, you get. So whatever thing you can lay hold on, you can add it. It's just for practice purpose, you get it. So you get to know and understand how to go about adding images. All right, the next one we are going to add is this second image. Actually added the first one. Okay, now we go back to our index.html. Now we add another image file. Okay, I want you to get familiarized with image on how to insert images. Sorry, so I'm going to add another one. Okay, make sure you copy the exact name of this file. You right click, hold on it, and copy it. Go back to your index.html, then you paste it. You get it? Now you paste. And when you paste it, you can either add an alt attribute to it, or better still, you just leave it. I've actually told you alt attributes do. So okay, let's still preview and see what we're doing. Okay, sorry, something occurred. There is an error somewhere. What is the error? We didn't add. You see, most of us will be getting an error. This is actually going to be from us. Remember, I did not add the file or the image where this the folder where this image was located. That was the error there. You get it? So /, I've added the /, I've added images. Watch what I did here. Initially this wasn't there, so I needed to add it. I needed to take note of it. Remember, this wasn't there initially, so I needed to add it. That was what led to the error. So let's preview. You can see. Are you seeing it? Now we can even add what I called width attribute. You can give it a width of let me say width equal to, I want to like increase the size, let me say 700. Yeah, let me check. You see, it has become much bigger. You can resize it from here. You can still use CSS to do that as well. Okay, you can resize the image from your this thing using your CSS. You can resize it. You can still resize it using HTML. All right, we've added that. Another image. Let's add about 3 or 4 images again. Just want you to get familiarized with how to add or insert images. All right, so the next is let's go back, copy this one, jQuery image. So we are going to copy it. All right, so let's go back to our index.html. all right, so let's add up the image file here. We're going to be adding it again. Just get familiar with this way of adding or inserting images. Remember the folder. There is difference between adding an image that does not that is not contained in a folder and the one that is contained in a folder. Okay, this particular one is the one that is not in a folder. Please take note. This first image is just on its own. It wasn't on a folder. The reason why we are adding images is because the image on this particular one, the reason why we're adding images before getting the image itself is because we have to create a folder for the image. So for you to target the image, you have to target the folder, both the folder and the image. That way it will show. Are you getting me? So that is the only way there. That's the logic behind what we're doing. All right, so I'm going to add a /, then paste the name I have already copied. Yeah, I'm going to paste the name. All right, I've actually pasted the name. Then I will close it up. Again. Quotation mark, sorry, it's a quotation mark sign. Then I will close it. Now let's preview. You can see a jQuery image has been added. So we can as well increase it. We can increase the width by whatever number we wish to. We can increase it by adding a width. You can as well add a height to it, depending. 600. Yeah, now let's close it. Okay, so let's preview. You have seen it have actually increased in size. All right, I believe you've learned a lot on this video. Do where to smash on the like button, and do where to subscribe. Thank you.